guys. Okay. It's your favorite mystic, the Siren Sims, and welcome back to another video. Um, yeah, I know that I said the next video you should see is something positive about The Sims 4, but I need to look. I saw it online, and I was like, I'm not even gonna talk about this because I don't know. Sometimes you see certain things in a vacuum, like you'll see people complain about something, but it's like just 10 people, and you're not really sure if it's the entire internet. This is not a big thing, but I wanted to talk about what's going on in general and how weird it is. And the topic of today's discussion, because we're just talking, it's not a video essay. I'm not gonna talk about the history of life simulators and virtual computer games. Relax. We're just here chopping it up and talking and having discussions. If you are one of the people who is like, The Sims 4 is the best game ever, I'm not gonna crap on you today. I know. But I didn't want to talk because I think the major distaste for other games is very interesting. I've always been the type to just play what's fun at the moment, right? Or play what I can play at the moment, right? Let's say my Sims 3 game is not doing what it's supposed to do. Sims 2 it is. Let's say Sims 2 ain't acting right. Life Sims stories it is. You know, like there's always something else I could be doing with my time, and that's just facts. One of the reasons that I sometimes make videos in bulk and set them up so I don't necessarily make a new video a week is so that if one day I'm too tired and God forbid feeling a little burnt out, I can take a week break and just post the 2 videos I already had and do my other hobbies. Now, all that to say, you can have your opinion, right? You can even be a little rude, free speech and all that, you know? But there's something to be said about that whole, this can be the only thing. It happens a lot in entertainment, you know, the best actor, the best movie, the best artist, the best singer. It's like there can never be any space at the top. There's always got to be like this weird pyramid scheme where one thing is at the head and everything else is fighting for the scraps at the bottom. I wanted to ask you guys today, why is it that you think that The Sims 4 of all games, and if you detect shade in this video, just enjoy it. I live here in the islands. We need a little shade every now and then to survive. So enjoy the palm trees. Yeah, so The Sims 4 of all games, okay? Why is that the one at the top of the pyramid? Now, slight tangent, you guys know that I'm not going to call The Sims 4 The Sims, because I hate that. I feel like it diminishes the other games. And it seems like The Sims 4 is the only game that matters. When the other 3, even number 1 that I've never played, seems a little bit better. Just a little bit. I'm not gonna say it's leaks, okay? We don't need to get into specifics, but facts are facts. Now, how is The Sims 4 at the top of the pyramid? Because it was the only one there. It's kind of like, you know, Nicki Minaj. She was reigning for a good 10 to 12 years with nobody there, and then all of a sudden, boom. Bartier, Cardi, and Ferrari, she just bust out the side. In the same way, EA monopolized the life sim genre. It was not the only life simulator, right? I used to play a lot of virtual worlds, and those could be considered life simulators, or different types of life simulators. There are different types of simulators in general, right? Stuff that you can play a story. You could play one person's life. You could play an adventure. Adventures were a lot of different types. You know, role-play games like RPGs. Stuff like RuneScape, Free Realm. Oh, if y'all know about Nicktropolis, you're goated. I used to stay on Nicktropolis. I was there for all of its phases. Y'all think The Sims 3 look like clay people? Try and find some old photos of the first version of Nicktropolis. Those were almost like clayed up stick figures, bro. Those were actual clay people. Talking about clay faces, bro. I used to play those games all the time. I used to play Pirates of the Caribbean Online. I used to play Barbie Girls. I heard that they are trying to bring it back for free. I love all of you. Please go support them. Barbie Girls World, you know, that was a world based on the cute MP3 player that they had playing at the time. I wanted that so bad, but I did not live in the States. What other worlds were they? Club Penguin. If me saying all this is like you guys remember it, please let me know down below which one of these you ever played, because I played a lot of games. And I didn't necessarily get far in any of them, but just like when I said before about if I'm getting tired of a game, or if the game's not doing what it needs to do, I can move on. Did you see all the games I just listed? Right? If I'm playing Barbie Girl World, or whatever the name of that virtual Barbie game was, and I couldn't move on to where I need to move on to because I needed the MP3 player, I need to pay a fee, I would just go to Metropolis. Or I would play Toontown, which is where you guys remember I'm trying to do that in The Sims 2. That's kind of where I got the inspiration from, Toontown. That was a big thing. Disney and Nickelodeon Cartoon Network, they all had their little virtual worlds. And I would play them. And it sort of definitely set me up to be interested in The Sims. Like, I was speaking with my mother one day, and I was like, I was playing The Sims before I even got The Sims. And she was like, yeah, you're right. Like, when I used to play with dolls and have my imaginations and even tell people stories, it was very much in the vein of The Sims, probably slightly more freeing because, there's a few things you can't do in any of the 4 games. But I was definitely a Sims girl before I ever saw an ad for the game, right? The first game I ever tried for The Sims was The Sims 2, but I have kind of a Mandela effect about it because it looked a little bit different than I thought it did, but it is what it is, right? There's so much out there, so much to enjoy, so much to explore. Why are we closing ourselves off to opportunities? And this is not me saying that if you are a Sims 4 stan, you need to play Inzoi and Paralives to become more cultured. No. But why get mad at other people for playing them? I'm starting to see weird comments about people being like, unpopular opinion, I don't think EA is scared of Inzoi. And I'm like, first of all, when people make videos saying that The Sims is over, they don't really mean that. The Sims will still probably be at top of the pyramid for a little while before these games get their footing in. Because especially games like Paralives, that's an indie game. It's never going to be at the top. This is not the horror game franchise. This is not Five Nights at Freddy's where a little indie game can take over the entire charts. Like, that's being a little presumptuous. But what they're saying is, finally, something to give EA competition. And when I feel people make comments about how EA is not worried, that scares me. Are you saying that EA is not going to evolve? I know it looks like people are saying EA should just quit now because Inzo and Paralives are here. But what they're really saying is, finally, EA gonna have to put up or shut up because other games are coming, literally boasting base game features that we've had to pay for, even in The Sims 3 and 2, right? So I feel like I get it, but also calm down. I think it's okay for EA to get some competition, and for you guys who are die-hard Sims 4 people, you should be happy that you're getting more competition, not for you to play it, but hopefully for them to get a fire lit all up and through under them so that they can make a better game. Like, isn't that what this is all about? No, me personally, I don't really like Paralives because I don't like the art style. It hasn't grown on me yet. Paralives does remind me of older games, but in terms of games that I would have to actually pay for, nah. If Paralives was free, I'd play it. In terms of games I have to actually pay money for, I'm more likely to pay money for games that look kind of realistic. I'm not likely to pay for games that are artistically drawn. But it's fine. If there's enough hype for it, I might try it out just to see. But it's my favorite game. You're not going to see me over here trashing it. Even with the video I made about it initially, I saw someone made a long comment on my video. It was like they were saying, give it a chance. And I'm like, you didn't even pay attention to the video. Because, hey, let's be real, right? On the flip side, there are some of you who are so tired of The Sims 4 that any criticism towards the new game sets y'all off. That's not fair either. It is fine for us to criticize Inzoi and Paralives within reason without being mean. I was never being mean towards Inzoi. I was just being honest about where I was at the time. And that could change. The art style could grow on me. And the little things that I said I would do if I ever played the game, I could even want to do more. But don't be like, well, because you had anything at all that wasn't super positive at the time to say, you're not being open-minded. Like, come on, guys, relax. You just don't need to be rude. on either side. No, EA is not going to disappear. So for all of you that were hoping that, I highly doubt it. But they are going to get some competition. There are lots of people who want to make video games out there. I know from some personal experience. They're going to school, they're learning how to do it, and so the competition will come. It will. And now we don't need to be thirsty and assume that the first 3 competitors are going to dethrone them, because that might not happen. But if people are excited, let them be excited. It's exciting. And you know what? Some of the things that we're excited for is ridiculous and it's sad. And it shows how much EA has broken us. Niggas are excited for seasons in base game. Now, this is not me saying this all Sims 4. I said The Sims. Okay? People are excited for seasons in base game. They are excited for realistic graphics. They are excited for cutscenes. Now, realistic graphics and cutscenes are in Sims 3 realistic graphics and Sims 2 cutscenes, but they're not in Sims 4, right? But we're over here thirsty, enjoying. We're thirsty for new animations that we're gonna see in Power Labs and Inzoi that we're not gonna see in The Sims 4, and that we probably haven't seen in The Sims 3. If there's anything involving skincare and finding ways to see people put on clothes and go shopping and get ready with me and da-da-da, like, we're thirsty for life in a life simulation game. Y'all cannot fight me on that. I've seen a lot of Sims 4 modders making very interesting mods, but they're so weird. Weird in terms of, why didn't the Sims team already put this in the game? And I'm not gonna be one of those who says base game or whatever, or it should have been an update. But why couldn't they make a skincare game? What's it called? The gameplay expansion? No. There's a difference between expansion and game stuff. You know the other one, the one that's right before kit. The one's a little bit bigger than a kit, but not exactly an expansion pack. Game whatever. They could have made a skincare one. Y'all would have gone crazy. And I mean full skincare. You get a few products. If you have the Get Famous, then your sim can get sponsored by one of the main or 2 main skincare products, one lower, one upper echelon, like the Sims version of L'Oreal or something. And you can put on mask. You get a little fuzzy boa to push back your hair. And then they could use that, and you could add like a kit, oral hygiene kit, where you get to see teeth whitening, dentist career, right? You could go to university to become a dental assistant. Maybe they don't show you everything in the dentist, but it's a bit of a rabbit hole, but you can floss in the Sims, check your teeth, put on a whitening strip, take out a mouth guard. All of this stuff, and I don't know if modders have made all this already, but modders are doing this stuff because it's not in the game. It's not. So we're over here begging for scraps. And so now if these new life sims say things like in Inzoi, you can get hit by a car and actually pass away, people are excited. Because the life simulator that we have doesn't accurately display all of life. And mind you, I don't fully mind that. There are certain aspects of life that I don't need in my Sims game. You know, it feels good that I don't necessarily micromanage everything and that I don't have to see everything when I'm playing The Sims 3 or The Sims 2 for that instance. Sometimes I don't like playing The Sims 2 because they add in 1 or 2 features that are a little bit too micromanagey, and then little Simmies be unaliving really quick. But that's just me personally. I'm not gonna get mad at another simulation for deciding to add the things that The Sims as a franchise lacks. I think people are right when they say stuff like weather maybe should have been in the base game because it's a life simulator. Romance interaction should have been base game. And if your people are thinking, but what about expansion packs? You can expand life, but you can't just add life in later into a life simulator, right? Have a good wedding, but when you make a wedding pack, let it be that it's filled to the brim with tuxedos, suits, venues, built by a few interactions that mean we're not in the game, bachelorette parties, all that. Let's be honest. Please, let's be honest. This is not about for and against front side, back side, north side. Nobody cares. These games are coming out whether you like it or not. Can we be honest about that? Can we? I'm asking for a friend, please. All right? Nobody is looking at this and thinking EA will be destroyed forever. I play The Sims 3. It doesn't make sense for me to hate on EA every single week. No, I'm gonna call them out here and there, her and there. But no, hating on them is not gonna do anything for me. But sometimes, those of you, some of you, who play The Sims 4, you do a little too much. And they like to complain that you're just responding to the people who play the other games, who randomly attack you. And I'm not going to say that you're completely wrong. I'm sure you watch a video or you go on somebody's Sims 3 Twitter and they randomly have a Sims 4 could never. I've done it. Facts are facts, truth is truth. But you can still play your game. Sims 4 still has one or two things that the Sims 3 doesn't have that to you might make it superior. That's you. That's great. This game is on top because y'all keep giving it money. And honestly, once you keep reminding yourself of that, ain't nothing else that can be done. But y'all gotta at least admit that I have a point when it comes to y'all having to pay for life in a life simulation game after you already bought the game. I understand stuff like horses being an expansion pack, because everybody don't got horses in their real life, right? I understand Comic-Con stuff like Star Wars being an expansion pack. It's niche, but everybody ain't got that, right? I even understand the more picky stuff about growing up being an expansion pack, because not everybody was that kind of teenager growing up, but you know, you might want to expand that. But everything, babies weren't anything but like a decor item that moved around before the expansion packs? How does that work? Leave Paralives and Inzoi alone. You've said enough, you've done enough. It's just a demo. It's just a demo for Inzoi coming out. Let them play it. And those of you who keep showing that you prefer a cartoony style, we get it. Paralives is right there. If you don't like Inzoi because it's too realistic for you, cool. Now we have two different games that are supplying two different aesthetics. Pick the one you want. I don't love Paralives, but I might play it because apart from the aesthetic, it's giving features that I might want to see. That's it. Do what you want to do. Just be honest and stop being so fake and stop being so performative. It's weird. Y'all are being so weird sometimes. Some of you. Oh my god. As it pertains to Inzoi, I will be playing it. I will be playing it. I'll be living my life. If it runs well. Well, my gaming laptop does have the minimum requirements for it, so should go well. And honestly, if I get to keep this demo forever, I just might play this alone because I don't know about playing the whole game. I'd probably have to get a gaming PC to play it. But hey, my friends like Tokyo, Okapi's TVGP, will be playing the game when it comes out, so I'll just see what she has to say. Also, you don't need to believe people when they talk. Let's have that conversation for 5 seconds. If you see somebody's getting paid by Inzoi, and they're talking about the game, you don't have to believe everything that they say. You can try the game out for yourself, or pick the most reliable source you can think of and watch that. Because they're right. If you're being paid, you're gonna embellish. You're gonna act like certain things are not there when they're there, and you're gonna act like certain things wouldn't bother people when they do. We're just being honest, okay? So, love you guys. See y'all later. And, goodbye. Susu!